Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is At the Buzzer. We're joined, as always, by Ryan Flynn and Jack Tiernan. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Brian. Thank you for asking me first.
You're well. Yeah, I wanted to mix it up this time. Jack, how you doing?
I'm not too well. I feel like the secondary character actually, but no, I'm fine here. Everything's fine.
I don't think I can
After,
handle this type of ego. I was gonna say.
yeah, no,
It's tough.
it's bad. And on top of everything else going wrong, one with the Celtics, everything's awful now. We actually suck. Uh, no, obviously not. Ryan, it's been a week where the Celtics went 2-2. Can you kind of take us through what you saw in those two wins, like over the Raptors and the Suns? And then we'll talk a little bit about the two losses that have some people probably a little concerned, but not necessarily us.
Sure. So I'd like to segue into this by saying I don't really like going first. Seems a little weird because I don't really feel like a Tatum, a Kawhi, or even a Steph Curry, or even a Booker. I'm more of a Klay Thompson, DeAndre Ayton, Jaylen Brown secondary guy.
Yeah.
I really like to take the secondary role. No, but I feel like that was kind of a far grab, but
I appreciated it.
That's fine.
So the Suns, I mean, obviously, I was a little nervous because the Suns were playing the best this season so far, but we've seen that from the Suns the past couple of seasons, right? They always play consistently well in the regular season. We know that they can get wins. Devin Booker can score a lot of points in the regular season. We all know that. The real question for them is the playoffs. And when I really thought about it, the West just isn't. I mean, there's a couple very good teams, and for sure the NBA is more talented than ever. I just feel like it's not at the top as competitive as the East. And I was really like, I really think the Celtics should be able to, more or less just straight up beat them. And they did, but they exceeded far beyond my expectations. I mean, it was obviously before we go into all the bad news, it was a great game to watch, at least the first half. The second half, I mean, it wasn't even a competition. It was, and really you can't overreact to this either because, the Suns just completely fell apart, right? Chris Paul came back in, was playing very limited minutes. Understandably, you would kind of think that would be an Ayton game. Ayton just hasn't been consistently to play up to the par he's expected to, right, on that team as he's the third guy, but he's kind of really needs to be the second most of the time. And he just hasn't shown himself up to do that consistently, even though before that game, I know he had been performing a little better prior. But yeah, I mean, just overall, there's just a blood, it's a blood fest. There's not really much to say. I did think it was pretty interesting. I know you have to do it, but just having Devin Booker on Jaylen Brown a lot on defense, it was just I know he's improved a lot as a defender. People think, yeah, he's a superstar, but he cannot guard Jaylen Brown. I mean, Jaylen Brown will make him look foolish, right? Just size-wise, athleticism, strength, as well as the speed and agility Brown has at this point, especially when he's attacking from mid-ranges. I mean, he might be the best in the league right now at that. I mean, he just looks incredible in that regard. So yeah, I was surprised by how bad they beat them. I wasn't surprised they beat them. I was very excited. I do think it kind of shows. I still think it kind of shows, unless the Suns make a move or two, the kind of problems they're going to face. Probably not right now necessarily, but in the playoffs. But I also, again, I wouldn't read too much into it being such a blowout.
Suns have had a tough week, losing to the Celtics and then being bullied by Zion a couple times in the same week. Rough stuff. But Jack, do you kind of feel the same about the two wins as Ryan did?
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. I mean, you also have to think the Suns are probably gassed, right? Just from not necessarily when they played us, but after playing us and then going to play the Pelicans twice. That's brutal. Tough stretch for them, right? But you saw that get the best of Chris Paul. But I digress. I think, I do feel the same way, to be honest with you. I think those two games were good, obviously. And you said the two wins, yeah, Brian? Or do you want to talk about the losses?
I was just setting up a Christmas tree to get in the holiday spirit in the back. Sorry. Continue.
You were
It's
being
always so
distracted,
different.
Brian. That's all you were doing.
I know.
I know. I
Sorry.
was like shit. I think it was fair to say, yeah, the 2 wins, I think obviously we played well, and like Ryan said, it goes hand in hand. We can't overreact to those as we can't overreact to the losses, which I think is what you were alluding to, right? It's kind of the same thing. I think um, I think the losses obviously came against the Clippers when Kawhi is healthy are a contender. I think that's just kind of how it is, and I think Kawhi kind of showed that. Maybe not contender, right? But they're a playoff team at the very least. I think when Kawhi is healthy and when Kawhi is knocking down shots, I watched. I wasn't home for the first half, but when I watched the second half live, it felt like the Clippers just could not miss. Like it was unbelievable. Um, and and in that regard, I mean, it's tough to beat that. There are going to be nights where your shots won't fall, and that was definitely the case. We were pretty brutal from 3. Um, just overall, you could see our guys getting frustrated. Um, I think that's to be expected, though, right? Like that's just kind of how it operates. Like if we're not doing well, we're not getting calls. There's that one female ref who does not like Marcus Smart, clearly. I think there's a lot of it is what it is. Sometimes you just kind of got to brush it off, move on to the next. And it goes double for the wins. Honestly, you want to think less about it, and you see Tatum and Brown taking that mentality a lot, where they're like, doesn't matter if we don't win a championship, and I think that's admirable at the least. And then see the Warriors again. I'm with Ryan here. I don't think you really can't expect the Warriors to not beat us. Like again, sure they were struggling earlier in the season, and they've kind of figured it out a little bit as of late, especially with Steph and Clay. There was a point where everyone was like, Clay's washed, but I think case in point is when he can do that against the Celtics, I think, he's not washed. But no, overall, I think honestly, it's a tough couple of games for us. We lost the last 2, but I feel like it's still very easy for us to be able to turn it around. Our offense hasn't been going. We've been down Al for a while. Rob's ready to come back. I think there's still reason for plenty of optimism, if not more than in the past, going forward.
Yeah, no, like you said, we've been missing Al, and obviously Blake has been playing well.
Yeah.
But then like when it was yesterday's game where Blake missed a dunk.
Oh
and I was
my
like,
God.
all right, we gotta get Al back. We gotta get him back out here.
Yeah.
This has been fun, but Jesus Christ.
Let me say, if
Well,
Blake
they were
hit
kind of
that dunk-
heckling his hot.
Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was saying they were like, I don't know if you heard, like, was it Scal and who was the other guy? Cedric Maxwell? They
Yeah.
were kind of tooling on Blake a little bit for his hops. Like one of them mentioned it, and then they were like, "Oh, he doesn't like if you mention that he can't jump over cars anymore." And we're basically like they're basically going on like he always says he's good for it one time. And
Right.
They were just making a joke of it. I wonder if Blake, like, I don't think they hear it, but maybe that kind of talk got Blake gassed.
Dude, he almost killed that. I don't remember. Was it Zubac? I think, and he almost killed him. Like he almost murdered the man. Like that was absurd. I don't even care that he missed. I think it's the effort that I can appreciate.
Yes,
and that's kind of what Blake has brought, right? That's kind of what he does.
Yeah, we're having fun. We're having fun.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been a great addition, and good to give Al time off during the season where he's not like playing through anything too crazy,
For sure, which we can appreciate.
Definitely. So yeah, I guess, is there anything else you guys want to add before we get on out of here?
Playing the Lakers today, and then I don't know if you guys have seen Scotty Barnes' numbers, but they're terrible, and I want to take full credit for that after running into him in Orlando.
Yeah, he jinxed him somehow.
I jinxed him. Yeah, I saw him and I said, "Is that Scotty?" And he said, "What's up?" And ever since he's been terrible. So I just I'm taking credit for that. Thank you.
I appreciate
knocking our East opponents down one at a time. So.
Ryan, have you cursed any NBA players in the last week?
Can you guys still see my camera? So screen is like completely frozen right now.
You're frozen on.
You're
mine,
frozen
too.
on I am, but we can hear you, so I figured
can.
you're still there.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Is there a freeze frame picture of me? Probably not.
Yeah,
but
it's
on
pretty
my side,
quality.
there is.
Yeah,
That's
it's
funny.
not. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's very.
Could have been.
It's pretty unflattering, but all right. So what are you gonna say? Sorry, I was trying to readjust things to kind of
No.
get it settled.
No
but
worries.
No,
It's just like
I don't
last minute
believe.
stuff. Yeah. So no curses from you.
Maybe I curse Tatum a little bit because as much as I think he's been incredible, I kind of like this early in the season, I tend to be a little reluctant to go right into the MVP thing, right? Just because like I don't know, it's a long season. Obviously, I think Tatum's been up to par, but
We've lost Ryan. So Jason Tatum got his revenge, it seems, on Ryan, unfortunately, by canceling his internet.
Very rude.
So I don't know if he'll pop back in, but we're pretty much at the end of the show. Anyway, so Jack, anything you want to plug before we get on out of here?
Sure thing. Best place to find me is on Twitter, and that's at Jack_Tiernan. You can find me reacting terribly to the Celtics losing there. Also can follow my disc golf account. I've won last tournament for the year, and that's at Jack Disc Golfs on Instagram. Follow me both those spots for some new content. Awesome.
Go follow him there. You can follow me on Twitter at @theFakeBMar. That's BMA. Our channel is on Twitter at Wicked Good Sport and WG Everything. WG Everything. I just like completely crushed that together. But that's the Twitter account for the main one. Then of course we have our website, which is wickedgoodEverythingsports.com. And we are on Instagram at Wicked Good Everything, on Twitch at twitch.tv/Wicked Good Everything, and on TikTok, search Wicked Good Sports, search Wicked Good Everything. Subscribe to our spinoff Premier League podcast, Swinging at Shins. And other than that, Jack, thank you so much for your time.
Of course, Brian. Thanks for having us.
We'll see you all in the next one.